guys, today I'm going to show you how to do a filigree design. I'm going to use some greens and blues and black to create this elegant vintage filigree design. So let's get started. For the background, I'm going to use Holly from the Lac-it brand and Was from Modelones. I'm taking Holly, placing it at the base of the nail where the cuticle would be, going about halfway down the nail. Then I'm taking Was and painting the other half of the nail, going right up to that color. Okay. Then I'm taking my ombre brush, fanning it out so it's nice and fluffy, and gently tapping across the nail. I'm not curing this layer yet. I'm going to go in a second time and do that same technique down the nail. This just helps to perfect that fade a little bit more. Okay, and this first layer is just for color. We're not too worried about the shimmer not being perfect up here. So we're going to cure that because we'll fix that in our second layer. And I'll do the same thing on the ring finger. We're going to do the exact same thing for the second layer. This time I'm focusing a little bit more on these brush strokes. I want this to look a little more even and organized. Of course, I'm gonna mess it up a little bit, but that's okay. Oh man, you know what? I love it. I love the fade so much that I'm just gonna do it on all of the fingers. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I decided to make all of these a fade, and each nail will be different because of the filigree design that we're gonna do on them. But before we do the filigree, we need to put a shiny top coat on them so that when we do the texture as part of the filigree, it won't stick to the background, if that makes sense. So we'll do a shiny top coat. The top coat will also even out the surface of the nail. Because we did all that tapping in there, it kind of created some uneven spots, which are, I mean, they're hardly noticeable, but this will help to even those out. Okay, then I'm just gonna go through again and make sure the layer is pretty thin. We don't want any bulkiness because there's going to be lots of texture on the top that will make it seem thicker. We want to make sure that each layer is as thin as we can get it. To add to the smoothness, I'm going to hold it upside down to help it level. While that's curing, I'm going to show you my design inspiration. So I've got these three that I've drawn from pictures that I've seen of filigree patterns. These are obviously just ideas, just kind of inspiration, but I'm going to try and incorporate these pieces and add some other details as I go. But this is just to help me start out with something on the nail, because sometimes it can be a little overwhelming when you have a blank surface and you have this idea to make it so complicated, but you don't know where to start. So this is going to help us know exactly where to start. Okay, but first I need to take off the inhibition layer, and I want to make sure that this inhibition layer is really gone. Gotta be really thorough here, and I'll show you why in a second. I'm going to do the design in black. This black specifically from the Lac-it range is really thick. It's really easy to use it as an art gel, which is why I'm going to be using it today. I think I'm going to start with this finger because I want this finger to be pretty covered by the design. We're going to fill this one up with the filigree design, and then we'll branch out onto the other nails from there. So the way that I do the filigree design is from videos that I've seen on Instagram. I tried to find some to link or show you, but I couldn't find any. And I'm sure, if you watch other nail artists or follow nail accounts on Instagram, I'm sure you've seen this technique before. I'm going to start kind of in this upper corner and come down across the nail like that, and then we'll spread out from there. So I'm grabbing a little bit on the end of my brush. I'm going to place it and then kind of lift my brush up off of the nail as I drag out from it, and that will make the tail thinner. And then as always, you can always play with the thickness. Now that we've got this beautiful filigree, I haven't cured it yet. I'm going to take some acrylic powder. This is clear acrylic powder, and pour it onto the nail. I'm kind of just tapping it on. I don't want to pour too much, but I am making sure that I'm hitting all of the design that I just painted, especially on the sides and on the tip at lots of different angles so we get all of it. I'm going to cure that for a full minute. I'm going to take a fan brush and dust off what's left. What it does is it mattifies the top and leaves a velvet looking texture. Okay, so now we're gonna go off of this to create our other design. So I think maybe I'll have one, I'm gonna go off of this branch here and have one kind of coming up this nail. And then maybe both of these, this one will come here around the cuff, and then this one will come down the center. And then I think this one I'm going to do a symmetrical one that comes down the center here. here's the finished set. I'm really impressed. I think it worked out great. I really like the black over the green and blue. I tried it once with the blue and green over the fade, but it didn't quite show up the way I was wanting it to. So I think the black worked out a lot better. Hey guys, so I realized I never did an outro to this video. So like this video if you enjoyed watching me work, and subscribe if you want to be up to date on videos that I upload in the future. And let me know in the comments below any nail art that you want to see me do. I will see you in the next video.